Hi everyone. There's a lot of awareness these days of the benefits of inviting wildlife into our garden. And something as simple as planting wildflower seeds for pollinators is a wonderful and really easy thing to do. But what next? Imagine you were having a friend round for tea. You'd want to make sure they were comfortable, that they felt safe, maybe they had something to eat. And the same goes for wildlife as well. You need to make sure that they've got somewhere, like a refuge from the winter, from the hot sun, somewhere to lay their eggs, somewhere to have their families. And this is really simple for you to do. I'm going to do a series of videos on how to encourage wildlife into your garden and how to get it to come back again and again. Not only for the benefit of the wildlife, but for your mental health, your well-being, and for the good of your garden. Because the benefits of having wildlife in your garden are soil improvement, pest control, pollination, lots and lots of benefits of inviting small creepy crawlies, birds, maybe the odd hedgehog to eat the snails and slugs out of your lettuce. So this brings me on to what's behind me, this fantastic insect hotel. It's got loads and loads of nooks and crannies for creepy crawlies to spend the winter, for them to have their families. But you don't need to go this big. It doesn't need to be an insect palace like the one behind me. It can be as simple as a tiny little insect hotel. This one's made out of a tin can. I've got some rolled up toilet roll in here. Most people use garden cane, but I didn't have any. I've got some cut down stems, hollow stems from my garden, and a pine cone. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these today, so that we've got a little refuge for some solitary bees and some other creepy crawlies in our garden, some pollinators, so that when they awaken from the cold winter, obviously not now, they've got somewhere that they can drink the nectar from your wildflowers that you've planted as well. I'm going to show you now how to make a really simple insect house for your garden. You can see I've got one on the fence behind me. It's got some garden canes, some logs with drilled holes in, pine cones and some wood chip. And I've also got an incredibly simple one here, which is just a bunch of garden canes tied together with some string. And they both sit in very sunny positions in my garden to get the winter sun to make the insects a little bit snuggly. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make one of your own today. You can use anything, okay? Things that you pick up on your nature walk. I've got a stick, I've got a pine cone, I've got some hollow stems, garden cane. If you can't get hold of this, you can use rolled up toilet roll, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do this now. It's very, very simple. So you get some toilet roll and you make sure it's shorter than the pot you're going to put it in, because you don't want it to hang out of the end and get wet, do you? So once you've done that, fold it in half and then cut it in half, okay? Now in order to make the roll that I've showed you here, I got a pencil and I rolled the toilet roll around the pencil really, really tightly, and then popped a peg on it, okay? And I left it like this for about 48 hours, and then once you take the peg off, it stays like that, okay? Nice and tight. So you want to fill up your pot with all of the little nooks and crannies that you've collected on your nature walks. So have some sticks in there, some garden cane. You just want to make lots of little places where creepy crawlies can spend the winter, okay? Here's one I did earlier. So this is made out of a tin can, and it's got a pine cone, some hollow stems and some rolled up toilet roll in it. Now you have to be careful if you're going to use a tin can, because it's got quite a sharp edge, which comes in quite handy actually for keeping everything inside the pot. But just don't cut yourself on that, okay? I thought about painting it because I didn't want it to be all shiny in the garden to frighten away the birds, but I thought I'd keep it as natural as I could, so I've covered it in some string without using glue. How clever am I? I'm going to show you how to do it now on my flower pot. It's a technique called whipping, and you quite often see it on the handles of really posh knives or on the handle of a magic wand if you've got a good one. So you need some string and your pot, and you make a little loop, quite a big loop, and then you lay it over the pot. Okay, so you've got the loopy end here and the little tail end here. You need to have enough to get hold of and pull when you finish this, and you'll see why in a minute. So, keeping a nice tight hold on this bit, you need to wrap it quite tightly and quite neatly, because the neater it is, the stronger it will be. Okay? Oh, that's awkward. The string has just fallen off the table onto the floor. So I'm going to keep wrapping. There we go. You see that? It's not too shabby, is it? Keep wrapping until you've covered your pot. Obviously with the tin can, I didn't want it to be shiny. I didn't want it to get too hot in the sunshine, because we don't want to cook our creepy crawlies, do we? That would be terrible. Here, come and live in my garden. I'll cook you. There we go. So when you've covered the pot, I'm going to cut my string. So you've got your loop and you've got your tail. You start at the tail end and you wrap it all the way round. Please do a better job than I have here. And then you pop this end that you've been wrapping up the loop. Don't get your finger caught in this, like I'm about to. There we go. And then you very gently pull your tail, and it pulls the loop underneath the string, and it pulls the end underneath the string as well. There we go. So you can cut the end off, and you can cut the end off, and it's really nice and secure. Okay? If you don't cut the end off, you can hang it up by that bit. I can't do that now, can I? Silly. But that's what I did here. Okay? So, with anything that you can get your hands on, a flower pot, the inside of the bottle bit that I told you to keep last time, you can stuff that with pine cones and sticks and garden canes. As long as it's nice and tight and they're not going to fall out, you're all good. Okay? So have a go at making a little tiny insect hotel for your garden. Show me how you get on. Have a great time. See you soon.